mind falling. I won't be sin or sad over my love for you. Keep the water warm, my mind falling. I won't be sad or sad over my love for you. Where do you go when your heart feels like stone? It feels so heavy, I held her too long. Where do you go when the line is not drawn? I cannot go. Hello, I'm Kafutubele and welcome to the Ethos podcast.
Yo, hi Binda.
Hey.
Wow.
Oh, that was
Just
awesome.
repeat your name again. I didn't get it.
Kafutubele.
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 Kafutubele. Okay.
Yes.
I'm bad
that was
with,
too
with,
quick.
with,
I was expecting a bit more back and forth. That's how it's supposed to go.
What tribe is that, man?
Yeah.
Lenje.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Lenje.
Yeah.
Lenje. What language is with it? It's like Lenje as well, the language.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lenje.
This is nice. Like it's like every day we meet people from all these tribes. Like what today it was Landa, not Lunda, but it was something like that. Another tribe.
Oh, but,
Those were the people at the wedding?
Lamba. No. Just one of the people giving a speech. Like they showed off their language, and he was like, don't worry if you don't understand. It's Lamba. I'll teach you soon. Something like that. You know those.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the Ethos podcast, Binda.
Thank you.
And everyone else everywhere across the globe during weird times, the pandemic.
Oh.
Yeah. How's that been treating you, man?
Oh man.
Dude, you're like at the
pandemic.
You're at the epicenter of it, right?
The what?
Wait, are you in Wuhan or?
No, different city.
Oh, okay. So you're not
different city, yeah.
But you're still okay.
It's been interesting. It's been like a movie, but then like right now everything is like basically back to normal.
Yeah.
But when it was all like on fire, it was very. It's like you are observing it, but you still can't really like believe that it's happening.
Yeah.
It's like you are indoors and you're thinking like there's a threat of death just outside. So it's like, is it really? So you watch all the news bulletins, you read lots of articles, and then you panic, then calm yourself down.
Do you know anyone that has it?
Take care of yourself.
Do you know anyone that's caught it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Like no.
Does that like?
It's strange.
Does it make you?
I thought like if you're at the heart of it, like in China, wherever you are, you should have like someone that you know.
Yeah,
I'm actually
you'd
surprised that
think,
it's almost the same. Yeah.
You'd think it's like there was a time we had an app that like it tells you who has it and where they are and how close they are to you. So we would like open the app and then just look at the location and say, "Oh my God, that's just outside."
Yeah.
So like, it was so close, but not really personal. Like you didn't know anybody, but then you were assured that it's here.
Wow.
Snap.
Was that safe? Like that app? I don't know. Like I would wonder if they came and tested me and then they find that I have.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be safe? Like they know exactly where I am. Like
like for us, they even had like QR codes in the metro stations. So, and some different locations. So whenever you get there, you scan it, and then it shows you if there's been any cases in the area that you're currently in. So even when you have it, they have the information of you scanning it, so it informs other people that, oh, this metro line has had this number of cases at which point in time.
Nice. You
At
guys
least they're
are
using technology to its best, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're at the cusp of tech as well. You know, you're on the verge of it.
Yeah.
With TikTok, the advent of TikTok, I'm not throwing any shade, but yeah. Anyway, dude, the song you opened with, man. What's the song called, man? Is that one of yours? Is that a new song?
Yes, that's actually the first song I recorded under my new solo project. It's called Forever Blue.
Oh, okay, nice.
Okay.
Yeah, and we did the recording actually before this whole thing had like begun.
Yeah,
it was like we were told that be careful of your movements, and some places had already shut down. So we were still allowed to go out of school at that time. So we're not doing anything, and I asked my friends to help out with the recording. After we just finished, few weeks, everything went crazy.
Were you on the verge of like recording a full length like EP or LP at the time? Did you just did this inhibit that, or it was just that one song and then it was like this happened?
No, it didn't inhibit it.
Yeah.
I would love to say it inhibited it, but I've been recording by myself in my room, so it's
nice.
like I've had I've had all the time, so I've just been trying to just get it done.
Alrighty.
Does it feel like you have more space to like complete it, like versus like this condition we're in? Like, do you feel that you have more space to do it?
I don't know. I wouldn't say so. There are moments where it feels like you have the time, but then your headspace is just somewhere else. So it's like you have the time and everything is there, but then in your mind it's not working out because the pace of like everyday life has been disrupted so massively.
Yeah, I can relate with you there, man, because I've been trying to be productive as well, but my headspace just hasn't been in the right place. You know, like my disposition has been switched up, man. So yeah,
we're trying,
man. Yeah, we really are. How did you get started, man? With the whole music thing, you know, you and me, me and Binda actually go way back. But we've never really talked about our origins or like our inceptions as far as like music is concerned. We just met, we were like from different bands, and we're like, okay, dude, you play? Yeah, dude, I play. Dude, awesome. Okay, and we just it was like a kickoff from there. Yeah, and that was it. We never really have we talked about how we?
No. Now that you mention it, I don't know how you started.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Peculiar.
And when I met him, he had hair as short as mine, but he swore that one day he was gonna have long hair. And dude, 2020, man.
Victory is mine.
I should have kept.
You did good. Well. You did good, man.
Thank you. Oh, you had long hair as well.
I wanted to. Don't laugh.
Dude, I'm joining you, man. I'm becoming a short-haired family guy as well. So yeah.
And Tumelo, you had longer hair than I did at one point.
Yeah, I did, man.
Yes, I remember that.
How the mighty have fallen, man.
Oh,
just conformed to the system. Part of the status quo regiment now, man. It's
it takes something.
Yeah.
So
hey, but I'm playing bass in the band, so
you win some, you lose some, I guess.
Yeah.
You've showed off, man.
Oh yeah, dude. This is what happens when me and Binda haven't talked like this in forever, man. When was the last time we like just talked?
I can't even remember.
Yeah, you just suddenly disappeared. It was like you didn't even tell me
No,
anything.
you was disappeared.
No,
You were the one who
no.
disappeared
Yeah,
way before
dude,
I did.
I know that I have like a tendency of going AWOL, but like this one, the China one was like the biggest, like in your face, sucker, kind of like thing, you know, because it took me bumping into Celestin. It like broke me or something. It was like, dude, Binda left. You know what I mean? We're just talking, and I asked about you. Then he was like, Binda left. He's in China, man. Like, what? Just like that?
I think that's how I left. That's how I
that's
left.
How you
in
left.
My
Yeah,
mind
that's how you do it, man. That's how you. That's
in
how
my
it's supposed
mind,
to be done.
it wasn't something that was like, all right, so I'll be doing this and that. For me, I was like, oh, it looks like I'm leaving now. Oh, I'm in China now, I guess.
Nice. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Like a ninja. Anyway.
Oh, so
yeah,
where you started off?
Where was it? It was I think 2008. I was in high school with one of my best friends during the whole high school period. We were into the same kind of music, so we just became friends from there, bonded. And he loved art. He could draw.
Yeah.
He loved doing comic strips. His brother as well, and his brother also rapped. So we would meet up at his place and then just do like musical stuff together. His brother rapping, me singing, and him singing as well. So we just took it. We just took it from there. And then I remember back in high school, we used to do GMD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we used to carry our T-squares even on the days that we didn't have the subject because they were our makeshift guitars.
See, I didn't even know you did GMD, man.
I always almost forget I did GMD as well.
Nice. You were supposed to be an engineer.
So
okay.
That was nice.
Is an obvious tech.
Musician. So after class, after school, we would just meet and make up songs, freestyling with our makeshift guitars. That was like in grade 9, grade 8, grade 9. Then we moved to grade 10. We were still together at the same school. And then we got our hands on actual guitars.
Yeah.
Then we were like, this music thing is very good. It's very fun.
Yeah.
So what's our name? What are we called? And then we're like, a name like a band. It's like, yeah. All right, let's go. And then we just started brainstorming.
Yeah.
Brainstorming different band names. Before we knew it, we were actually making music now, like writing songs as a band, just me and him.
Can you remember some of the names that sort of like came up? Some names that you...
Oh, embarrassing names. Oh.
Yes, that's what we
Get us in. That's the central theme of the show.
Oh my God, there's this name. It was like you edit this part out. All right. The name of the band was Riot Inc. Like Riot.inc.
Oh yeah?
Because we were you know like angsty punk phase. So like
rebels.
But were you guys playing punk rock?
No, we weren't.
No, it was just okay, but you didn't necessarily have to like be playing punk rock at the time. I'm sure it was like the mindset of it all. Like just looking at the rock scene, because you guys were doing rock, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure there was that common ethos. So what I did there, yeah. That you guys shared as far as like the music was concerned.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was purely rock, and the bands I liked were the bands that he liked as well.
Nice.
And I could share some of the other artists, and we would just like bond over the music. And then we started making our own music. Then it just became bigger.
Yeah.
Riot Inc.
Okay, so I have like two questions. Like, what are the other names apart from Riot.inc? And and like the artists that inspired you in that period, like artists you were listening to together.
The other names, I think it's for the best that I don't remember. But one thing I specifically remember is like we were very adamant to say it has to have the something. Yeah, it's like we have to be the something. So we had like a long list of names with
the Rioters.
It's the something. That's how bands do it. We have to be the something.
Yeah.
And we at that time I think we were listening to My Chemical Romance, Breaking Benjamin, and Coldplay. These were like bands that we were.
But those are like different worlds, man.
Yeah, like
Linkin Park,
Chemical Romance and Breaking Benjamin, just there.
Yeah.
Nice.
So and funny enough though, it's like in the band, I was the guitarist, he was the singer, and I don't know like exactly at which point we had switched.
It just happened.
We switched roles, and I was like, wait, when did I become the singer? And you're now holding the guitar all the time. And I was like, I don't know. It works. Let's just go with it.
Nice. Wait. So it wasn't really talked about, but you were both singing at certain points, right? You were both vocalists in the band, but you had
not boy band, not boy band kind of singing.
Didn't go there. You said it. I didn't. Dude, but boy bands though.
Two-man bands.
Boy bands were cool, man. Didn't you? Were cool, man. The Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, and Westlife era.
Oh, yeah.
For me, I feel like Westlife really changed my perspective as far as like making albums was concerned, man. They're one of the first musical groups or acts that actually sat down and listened to like from top to bottom as far as like albums were concerned. Yeah. Because even I grew up on like hip hop and like a little bit of rock. You know, for me, rock only like came to fruition during my teen years. You know, when I was a kid, I could like listen to one or two songs here and there that maybe my older sister or my uncle could play. But when it came to like actually sitting down and assessing an album, I think Westlife was one of the first like musical groups that I listen to, man.
I don't know if you're trolling right now.
No, man, I'm being for. I'm being for like Muka, you know this. You know this story, man. Like I had this weird fantasies because I had like a crush on a girl in the 7th grade. So I could I envisioned myself listening to Westlife and then like me singing those songs to her with like my best friends. It's like a musical group, you know. I wasn't always it's out there for the world to know now. These are the end times, so it's okay.
I feel like
you always thought I came. You always thought I came from like a cool scene. Like I just started off on like punk rock, and that was it.
I remember there were some 1 or 2 conversations.
Yeah.
In line with that, but I didn't know about assessing Westlife.
I did, man. Like Westlife was one of the few like groups I listened to album wise. Yeah.
I feel like you're trying to get me to say I'm a fan of the Backstreet Boys too. Make me feel comfortable, and then you'll be like,
admit it, man. Admit it.
For me, no, in these lines, I would say for me, my Westlife was Backstreet as well. So it's cool, guys.
Like, I knew a few Backstreet Boys songs, you know, but I never like listened to a Backstreet Boys album. Till this day, I just know the singles and like the hits. But Westlife was like, but Westlife was like top to bottom. That's when I understood what like listening to an album like felt like was about. It was weird because I was a kid. I was in 7th grade, man. Like who listened to albums in 7th grade? You know? So it was That was like, I think that's
impressive.
what like shaped me. And I remember on Facebook, Daliso had this challenge where he was like, which album changed your life or made you look at music differently?
Yeah.
Or did he tag you in that?
No.
Yeah. Okay, he tagged me, but I was like on and off Facebook, so yeah. But I feel like if I had posted my post, it would have been Westlife. It would have been like one of the Westlife albums.
And I would not have believed it.
Yeah, probably
I would
me
have
trolling.
put the haha emoji because I was like, this guy is funny.
Weirdly enough, another album I had listened to at the time, which is so different. Like in tandem, like I would go listen to like a Busta Rhymes album.
Whoa!
His first albums. It was like Busta Rhymes over there, and then when I'm feeling all lovey-dovey, I would listen to Westlife. It was like
I knew I just had to sneak into this podcast to hear this.
and then there was Danny's album, Danny Kaya. Yeah. The Danny Kaya,
man,
dude.
I hated that album.
Dude, that album was a classic.
People played that album too much. I hated
dude, like my uncle had it, and I would listen. I would always like listen to it in his car. You know, it was always in his car, so I always sit down in his car and just like listen to it whenever. Man, it was weird. Damn.
Well, this is
Nostalgia.
definitely interesting.
Okay, anyway, this is about Binda. We digress. So you weren't a boy
We
band.
learn something new every day. No, we were not a boy band.
Yeah.
Let the record show.
Okay.
Not that there's anything I have against boy bands. I mean, you are a huge fan of boy bands, as we have found out. So there's nothing wrong with boy
I think
bands.
you listen to Westlife though. I never really gave
time. What is it?
I never really gave One Direction a chance. Yeah. So you weren't a boy band, but
how many were you in the band?
You had a bunch of vocals.
I said two vocals.
Yeah.
And
you're a duo.
That was like
a duo boy band.
We had we switched roles. It's like we had a main vocalist and a backing vocalist.
Yeah.
Or we could have one person sing the chorus and another person sing the verses.
Nice.
And like his brother would also like add rap verses. So we were just like a music thing, not boy band, or music thing would call it.
a duet.
No, not boy band. Anything but boy band.
Also duet.
Wow, that's been worse, I think. I feel it's a bit worse.
Cringe over there.
Or a band. Just call it a band.
Sure. And who wrote?
What?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, go on.
I was gonna ask who wrote most of the songs.
Oh, that's actually very, very, very interesting. It's like I usually think about it. He would write the melody and I spoke Chinese in my head.
You should have
the English word.
You speak
like
whatever language.
Rough
You want to speak
a rough
as long as you can
outline
translate.
of the lyrics.
Yeah.
Or subtitles.
Oh yeah.
So he does like the whole melody.
Yeah.
And the rough like outline of the lyrics.
Yeah.
And then I would take the song and then like fine tune the words, like add what needs to be added or change what needs to be changed, but the melody is like it's already done. So we will just like share the responsibilities of he does the idea, he comes up with the idea, and then I finish it up. And some of our songs that we did when we were like the whole band.
Yeah.
Some of the songs we did were actually songs that were like birthed by him.
Nice.
Way back in like high school.
Nice.
So it is nice. I like.
So you're one to sit down with someone and actually collaborate as far as like the concept of a song is concerned. You're not like a selfish writer, because I've met a bunch of writers that go like, I'm the songwriter here. You know, like I can't sing a song written by someone else. So are you? I don't know. What's your angle on that. What's your take on that?
Like
Obviously,
who is this somebody?
Who is
Is that you? Like you give me one of like your boy band songs to sing?
I cannot disclose that. It would be like me throwing shade, and I don't want no trouble, man.
No, it's like no. I'm like very interested in like collaboration, especially with my solo project. That's like the thing I have in my head is to work with as many different kinds of people as I can. If we have to sit down and like from the inception write a song together, or someone comes up with a song idea, I'm like, let's do it.
Nice. Yeah, I think I've been in that headspace for the past 2 or 3 years now. But before that, I was a selfish writer. Yeah, I mean,
do you want any?
No, I like you because I felt like I had a certain like way or style of writing. I looked at myself as like an abstract lyricist. So because even in my previous band, like we struggled a bit when Lorato would like come up with a song and maybe he's feeling all lovey-dovey and it's like a straightforward like lyrically direct song. And I'm like, no, dude, I don't want to say I love you in a song, I'd rather say something else, like I don't want to be as direct, No shots fired at Lorato, by the way. Like Lorato's an awesome songwriter. Like growing up now,
different style of writing.
Growing older and like hopefully wiser, you sort of look back in retrospect and start to appreciate like certain styles of music. I mean, just look at the Beatles, man. The Beatles wrote simple, straightforward songs, but they were so nuanced that if you had to like try to play them as well and like really try to like grasp the meaning or concept behind them, you'd be like, whoa, okay, okay.
It's not as simple as we thought.
Yeah, right. Because
it's interesting when you mention like the different styles of songwriting. Like for me, I don't know. I'm not yet comfortable with like explicitly direct lyrics. With the words like "I love you," and I'm like, that's gross. It's like I'm more drawn even to the music I listen to like currently. I'm more drawn to the more like abstract lyrics. Where the meaning is like it's implied rather than like stated directly. It's like I understand that that's like my personal like songwriting. So whenever I'm collaborating with somebody, I try to like understand like what are they thinking? Like how do they understand songwriting? And then you work together to say, are we going to hide this "I love you" in some strange way, or okay, let's put the "I love you" there, but I won't sing it. You sing it.
Yeah, exactly. So there's always that nuanced approach to it, like if maybe there's like an "I love you" in a song, and this is one thing I've like noticed about pop music as well. They have this because there's like a bunch of background vocals in most pop songs. If you haven't noticed that, there's like more usually when a pop star is performing, there's like
adding ambience kind
exactly of, when for most maybe a few, but the pop stars that I've like listened to or seen or watched play live usually have like backup vocalists. Usually like the women, singing at
the soul
and whatnot.
Soul dancers.
Yeah. So you find that maybe they'll be the ones in the background singing "I love you, I love you," and then maybe the lead vocalist will be saying something else, Then it's like, oh, okay, like they're implying that, but it's like I don't know, man. Maybe it's just the way I like notice certain like subtle nuances in music, but
you can say it. You can sing it and you can write it. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's like you've already done the worst with growing up on Westlife. Writing or singing "I love you" is.
Dude, I totally could, man. I'm not ashamed anymore. I'm in that headspace now, man. I think. Okay, no, wait, no. There's still certain like limits to that. There are conditions.
We are still working through it.
like well, I think what I'm trying to say is I could totally listen to a song like that. Like I'm open to listening to like a pop song, and this is something that this is something I'm sure. Just looking at the look on Binda's face, like
Oh, sorry, it was
it's
evident.
yeah, it was evident because the last time me and him conversed, it was this wasn't the Tumelo that he met.
I'll ask Binda something, and it will be a response to you, like your growth. Binda, do you think that your songwriting has changed also? Well, if it has changed, that is, would it change as a result of relationships like that you form with people? Like if you okay, like I'll give myself as an example. The first girl I dated was a random, just someone I met randomly, right? And then the next girl I deliberately dated someone I knew was what you would term a gold digger. I just deliberately wanted to see like how that's, my take on relationships kept changing like that, like the curiosity of it. Then eventually it became more, I think, honest. Like I'm deliberately stepping into this boat for a certain reason. And I think a lot of things change when you change your mindset, even in such, it looks very distant from whatever else you'd be doing, like songwriting or the way I handle technologies and stuff like that. Do you think that your perspective on music and writing would be affected by relationships, whether being dating someone or maybe family changes or you meet new people like you going into China? Do you think it changes in that line?
I think to a certain extent it does. Or let me say I would love for my songwriting to like be affected by like those kind of situations in a much bigger way than it is. Like for me, what changes my songwriting is other music. So when I come across an artist and then I come across just like a whole different way of how they approach the whole music, and then that whole thing like translates into my music.
Yeah.
But like relationships and other things, whenever something happens, was a moment I remember I was thinking how Adele writes music out of like breakups.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I wish I could do that. I wish I could just like go through something and then come out with an album or two. It's like I think it's a bit more distant at the moment. It's more distant from like the outside world in terms of like relationships and situations.
Yeah. So like basically the inspiration for your music is based on your taste in music, like your exploration in music itself, finding those new artists.
That kind of helps me experience the world differently.
Yeah.
Like new music helps me like see the world differently, and that in turn helps me write music differently, make music differently.
How do you take like the same music, like if you found a new artist, I don't know, okay, maybe we can start with like genre, like does it matter what genre you're listening to? Like is there a restriction in the type of music?
I find that I listen to music with like two different minds. There is music for pleasure, and then there is music because I'm studying music. So when I'm listening to music because I'm studying music, I don't have restrictions to say genre or anything like that. It's like I just need to listen to everything and see what's happening in the musical world, like different singing techniques and things like that. But then that's when I have like specific genres, like a bunch of artists and people that I just listen to. So when I'm creating music, I also like I'm a bit more specific to like what kind of music I want to like influence me, because there's what kind of music I want to make. But eventually I find that no matter how much thought I put into it, like when I start creating and start making a song, it just like flows, goes in his direction. I'm like, no, not that way, not that, and then it's just like it goes out. And I've learned not to like restrict what comes out. I just make it and hope for the best. In the end, I listen back to it. I'm like, I like how it sounds. It's not what I was expecting, but this is what we raised. So
it's kind of like raising a kid during the actual writing process. If I were to like sum it up metaphorically,
yes,
like, oh, I'm gonna raise you, I'm gonna mold you this way, but then at some point the kid has to make up his mind, his own choices and whatnot. Yeah,
they become their own person.
Yeah,
you just hope that you taught them enough, equipped them well enough for the new knowledge.
Nice. I can relate with you. Yeah, as far as that's concerned. But look, what I was trying to say is I'm open to like listening to almost anything as long as it like piques my interest and is maybe I'd say I'm partial to more substantial stuff. But like you said, it's you listen to it with two minds, and you know sometimes it's like, oh, I just want to dance and have a good time, and sometimes it's like you listen to it with introspection and trying to like have an experiential mind trip of sorts. Yeah.
Have you been inspired by One Direction or?
I don't think I've ever listened to any One Direction song. To be honest, I've just I actually haven't.
I'll tell you that like maybe 3 songs that I enjoyed from them. That Be You, something like that. And I'm trying to, and that story song, what's the name? Something Story. It was peculiar. The rest is just too kiddie, I guess.
I will say though that because One Direction broke up, right? But one of their guys, one of the singers from there, like did a solo project. I think last year or early this year. Harry.
Yeah.
Oh
Harry
yes,
Styles.
Harry Styles.
Harry Styles is good, man. Like he's got some pretty good songs. Yeah, and I listened to his album. Yeah, like my girlfriend turned me on to him, and I was like, whoa, okay.
Tumelo, you have a girlfriend?
Yeah, I do, man.
That's why I been away for so long. Changing writing.
Oh, now I get it. No, that's what's happening.
I wanted it to come out on its own. I'm happy it has.
Yeah, but look. She may have impacted my take on music as far as like appreciating it and being open to it is concerned. Like she may have just broadened that. That schema. But as far as songwriting is concerned, no. Yeah.
No, this is what I think. Like
we know I love yous in songs.
Right? No, check. Like just before you like hooked up, you started already evolving into this new person. I mean, and even your writing already started reflecting that. So just taking up this relationship, it's very.
You have to listen. This is a perspective from the outside, so they were observing what you couldn't see.
Yeah, it's the way you entered this relationship is very different from the previous ones. Like even the way you talk about it, the way you would come out, you know, like I could tell your character itself had evolved. Like even the way you handled this one, like where you are right now, it's very different from the past.
It might just be a coincidence because I have like grown older, so maybe it's just hit me different with age as well. And yeah. There are a lot of variables, man. And this is not about me. This is about Binda. So we digress.
Yes. Before we finish,
where were we?
Let's just digress a bit further.
Yeah.
What is this? I remember
the key question was like, like where Binda started off.
Yeah, we got the boy band duet, singer-songwriter,
Riot
things. Right?
No, please forget that name. It's like
the Rioters.
Forever gonna hold that one over your head, dude. But yeah, so You're in the duet. Okay, no, let me not hold that one over your head. You're in the thing. Yes, we'll call it the thing.
Band.
The band. The 3-piece band.
Yeah.
Which part of Zambia are you in at this moment in time?
This time.
Yeah.
This is the Copper Belt.
You're in the Copper Belt. Yeah. So and what's the scene like there as far as like rock music is concerned?
Oh, that was very. I think there was nothing. There was nothing, and I think we didn't mind that there was nothing because we were still in school. So it was always something that we did in our free time. So we weren't really like, oh, where are we going to perform? We're not even thinking about performing. We'll just like hang out at my friend's place, find a shelter, grab our guitars, start singing. Nighttime, everyone goes back home.
Yeah.
There was. I think we've never performed in Kitwe. My God.
Oh, really? No, dude, you have. No, wait. Like, is Rock FM in Kitwe or Ndola?
That's in Ndola.
Okay, but you have performed in that region, so don't beat yourself up about it.
No, like during in the beginning.
Oh, in the beginning.
Only after I went to Lusaka, went for college, and then went back home.
Yeah.
That's when I performed. But as Riot Inc., we've never performed. Though our first performance as the band was my aunt's wedding.
Yeah.
In Lusaka.
You performed at the wedding?
That was our very first performance.
Can you demo for us one of the songs you sang at the wedding?
What did we do? We changed up the lyrics to "Stand by Me." I'm glad I can't remember because then I can't sing it. I remember we changed up the lyrics for the occasion. "Stand by Me," and we had the MC holding up the mic to my mouth and to guitars. It was like holding two mics because it was like an impromptu performance. My aunt was like, would you guys like to perform? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Where are we performing? It's like, no, just here. I was like, okay.
I love those moments.
So we just did it.
Random.
It was fun.
Nice. So there's the rock scene in Kitwe is like it's desolate, it's non-existent. Did you feel like?
I'm not sure about now.
Okay. Did you feel like you say it did exist?
No. It didn't.
It didn't exist.
It didn't exist.
So
I'm not sure today.
Did you? Yeah, it's gone worse. Oh wait, Stanley. Anyway, we'll get there. Did you feel like a pioneer at the time? Like you guys were like spearheading a certain movement, or it was just basically you guys hanging out, just playing the music that you liked?
I think it was. It's like only after I had moved to Lusaka, when like I was studying music education. So even my study was like music focused.
Yeah.
And like all my surroundings, my classmates, teachers, everything was like music.
Yeah.
So after you did music in like the academic setting, and then you could focus on like what you want to do with your music, really, apart from studying it. So only after I had moved to Lusaka was I like taking it more seriously to say we need to find places to perform. We need to like write more songs. We need to work on our rehearsals and things like that.
Yeah. All right. So, when did you move to Lusaka?
That was 2013.
2013. Okay. So you moved to Lusaka to study music.
Yes.
Yeah. And okay, yeah, we could take it from there because this is like a new chapter of your life now. Was this like a first option or like choice for you? Were you always looking forward to like moving to Lusaka to study music, or like what were your plans at the time? What was going through Binda's mind at the time? Was music even like a thing you wanted to do career-wise, like something that you wanted to study, or did it just happen that you just found yourself doing that?
It's like after high school, we had that one year, that gap year that we usually have, and then
Yeah.
for me, it's like I was just hanging around with my guitar, with my friends, just having jam sessions.
Yeah.
And then time came where I had to like go to college now. It's like I was asking myself like, oh, go to college. There's some adult stuff. What am I going to do? What am I going to study in college? And then I was going through like what courses are in college, what things people usually study.
Yeah.
And I was stumped. I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I can do, because everything seems that at one point it has mathematics in it, and I was like, I can't run away from this subject. It's like I can't deal with that. So let me think through.
You're not big on math.
I think that's I'm impressively bad at math.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Even so, how do you approach? That's interesting, because how do you approach music, like reading music in that regard? Isn't it mathematical to some degree, like scales and
some people say that. Some people say that, and I always like. Yeah. I'm like, no, I'm doing it so it has nothing to do with mathematics. If it did, I would be failing at it.
That's really interesting, because as far as like programming is concerned, it's pretty much the same thing. People say you have to have like a strong math background, but I've noticed that I approach programming there's like two ways of approaching programming. Sorry, I'm going to geek out on you a little bit. There's like the engineering mathematical way of like approaching it, and then there's like the artsy way of approaching it. I'm not sure if that makes sense.
Yes.
Anyway.
I think the artsy way is more like problem solving versus procedures and techniques.
Yeah, look, there's if there's certain things
there's a way to get something done.
Yeah.
With the fact that you just want it done. Then there is also following other people's methods or whatever.
Yeah. It's interesting. Like I figured that out recently. Like you could jump into a project or into a certain project, and then like try to like problem solve. You try problem solve from like the get go, like without you having a downset plan, and then there's like another approach where it's like
flowcharts and stuff.
There's that other approach where it's like, oh, okay, now I'm gonna write down, like a certain procedure or an algorithm on how I'm going to like tackle this problem, And there's like guys who just jump into it and say, whatever happens. I'm just gonna build, and it's gonna work out, That's it
does work out,
and it does work out for the most part. And
maybe you're gifted. Maybe you're gifted, because when people say that there's also the aspect of like people being talented in something, so they don't really need to like go through like the procedures. That's that guy.
Yeah, but I think I could say the same thing about you as far as like music theory is concerned, because it's like you just enjoy it from a genuine perspective, I think. So your approach,
for music theory. Yeah. For me, music, great. Music theory is a bit more. Something interesting happened when I was writing songs during the boy band days. My music that I was writing,
it's been established, Muka. It's a thing. That much has been established.
The songs I was writing at that time was like from a point of like pure emotion. You just feel something, and then you put it into words, put it into melodies, and everything. And then came a time where I had the guitar, and then I learned how to play the guitar. I learned how to like, this is a key, these are the chords in this key.
Yeah.
And then at that moment, I picked up one of my old songs and I tried to play it, and I was like, I can't. I cannot. It's like it's not following the rules. But when I listen to it, it sounds nice.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's beyond my musical skills in terms of theory. But the music itself is good. But
Yeah.
my theory and the rules, like here's what's this, here's what comes next,
Yeah.
here's what follows, it kind of like defeated. And from that point, I noticed my music was a bit more restricted because of music theory.
Mm-hmm.
The way I would write with the knowledge of like scales, chords, chord progressions
Yeah.
was like a bit more rigid.
Yeah.
And I think it's because it was the basic. The more
Yeah.
I learned, the more like you learn how to like open up. So I'm trying to like find a way back to the way I used to write while still having like the music
The
theory
theory
knowledge and
part. Yeah.
all those.
Nice.
Mm.
Yeah. Like I feel like it's like if you have it well balanced out, like I envy that, like having the technical know-how and then the natural, like approach
Mm.
towards it, is concerned. Like it just balances out better. But I kind of prefer, yeah, I kind of prefer. I think I'm more partial to the natural approach because obviously I haven't done music theory.
Mm.
Yeah, for you though, which are you partial to? Did you lean towards one more than the other, or it's you walk that fine
Mm.
line?
Like I'm still like my music theory still has like more limitations than my free music creating spirit.
Yeah,
It's like on this side it's just wilding out. It's like everything going on. But
yeah.
then when it comes to my music theory, there's a point where it ends. But
Mm-hmm.
then there's an artist that I was recently introduced to. His name
Mm-hmm.
is Bruno Major.
I know. Yeah. Well,
Bruno.
okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
I was recently
When
introduced to
I
Bruno Major as well.
when I listen to his music, I'm like, that is in my mind, that is how it all comes together.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to like the melodies and how the music flows,
Yeah.
and he's able to like follow that up with the guitar
Yeah.
or the keyboard, whatever instrument he's playing. So
Yeah.
I'm like, that's just, you need the skill. You need the
Yeah.
skill to like contain the energy and just help it flow.
Yeah. I've been
So
listening.
that's a fine line, if I would say, in my head.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
love
think
that
I
you
should check
brought up.
out Bruno Major.
Yeah, I
Definitely.
love that you brought him up. He's a really, really he's
Very
different,
good.
man. Yeah, there's something that's really, really like interestingly captivating about his music. It's the certain approach that he takes. It's like I've never heard anyone write a song like him, you know?
Me
Yeah,
neither. It's
yeah.
it's so good. And I
He
heard
is. Yeah.
he posted that he was dropped by his label
Oh,
because
I
they
didn't even
said his music was not good. It was unmarketable, so they were like, no, we
yeah.
can't work with you. So
I
he
can
did it by himself, and now everyone loves him.
What's your take on that though? As far as like were you ever in that headspace of trying to like get a record deal? Anyway, maybe we'll get there. You're still in
Okay.
college now, so so walk us through your college era, your college phase.
Right.
Yeah,
So
you studied
I
music and everything.
was started. I applied for music.
Yeah,
It's like on the application sheet, they had boxes to tick for what you want to study.
yeah,
And for me, it was like music. And then they had music education.
yeah,
And then there was English education. So I
yeah,
was like, no, I don't want, I'm not doing education any. Let me just take the music.
yeah,
And I got accepted. In my mind, I was like, I'm going to study music. After I finished, I'm going to just do music.
hmm,
I got there,
Yeah.
and then they were like, all right, so we have music education and English education. Music education, you guys go that way.
yeah,
English, you go that way. And I was like, how about this guy? I did just music. I was like, oh, then they said that it's just like a formality. We don't really have music as a course by
what?
itself. We just have music education. So it's like the sheet is a formality. What you actually applied for is music education. And I was like, ah. Okay, at least it's
Well
something to
played.
do with music.
Well played. Well played.
That's how I
False
studied to become a
advertising.
music teacher.
Same thing happened to me, man. Like the university I applied to was me wanting to do animation. So when I get there, you know, I'm admitted and everything, but it's like after like post admission, you that is when you sort of like sign up. Yeah, as far as like choosing what course you're gonna take is concerned. So I jump into that, and it's like, oh, I want to do animation. You know, and it's like a Catholic Indian university, and you know the
Mhm.
the person talking to me there is like, no, you cannot apply. Anyway, I might sound racist. You know, like it takes 10 or more people to apply for this course in order for it to like take off. And so far, there's only like 2 of you, so you have to have like 2 more backup courses, and that's where computer science and then software engineering came in, and I went with computer science. But I really all I wanted to do was animation, man. That's all I wanted to do is just.
What did you want to do with animations? Like you do it, then what? What was in your mind at that time?
So I was probably gonna start. I was gonna start my own company, my own animation company in Zambia, because I noticed that was like a market that wasn't on a larger granularity. So I was like, yo, I could like, because for me it was all about like innovation and doing something different. So
Yes,
you know,
yes.
yeah. So I felt like it was a perfect balance, because I could like apply the artsy part of myself, as well as the technical side of things, because animation can get technical as well. To some degree, there's like scaling stuff, rotations, matrices, and geometry and whatnot. But then there's like the cool side of it, the artsy side of it, where it's like, I could be as creative as I want to be, with no limits. Well, limits are the graphics card and other things. There are lots of variables, but but you know what I mean. Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, joke was on me at the time. Yeah. I did not get to do I got to do animation. I got to do computer graphics when I like under the computer science course for like a semester, and that's where like the theoretical part of like animation came in, but not as like a full-on course. But anyway, I was just trying to say that I relate with you in that regard, because I had applied for something.
No, we were both betrayed.
Yeah, we were, man, and this was all my parents' fault, because they're like, oh, that university has animation, go do animation there. I'm like, because I was like being the angsty teenage rebellious kid at the time. I did not want to do anything but animation. So yeah.
No.
Anyway.
I did music.
Yeah. So music education is what
but
you did.
It worked for me still. It worked for me because I did music education, and then I found that they had English, and I was like a huge fan of English from high school. So I was like, oh, now I can learn how to teach English, and I can also learn how to teach music.
Yep.
So like the aspect of being a teacher took up a kind of a different appearance, because it's like I'm not just a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually teaching subjects that I enjoy. So it's like I would enjoy the teaching as well.
Nice.
And for music, I would just like go in class, like secretly hold performances for the students, sell some tickets, call it a day. So I was like, it works for me. I have like a daily performance, and I'm guaranteed an audience of like these fans. So it was like it worked. And also I met my bandmates in college.
Nice. Your that part of your life reminds me of. Have you heard of the band Dashboard Confessional?
Yeah, but I haven't listened to much of their music.
I think that you should listen to them. I think you'd like them. I think you would. They did. I think they did the Spider-Man 2 soundtrack. Vindicated. Yeah. Anyway. Anyway, I was trying to relate your life or that part of your life to the lead vocalist, because he pretty much did the same thing. Like I think he was an English teacher during the day, and then like a rock star at night. So it just balanced out well for him as well. I was like, yeah, that reminded me of him because I was reading up on the band, and yeah, he pretty much is the band because it's like the central theme as far as that's concerned. He writes the songs and everything, then he gets together with his friends, and then they just play the music together. But he had a teaching background as well. Yeah.
So it works.
Yeah, it does work. Yeah. Yeah. So what happened after that?
I met my bandmates in
Yeah.
college. It's like the friend I told you about from high school.
Yeah.
He was still in Kitwe,
Yeah.
and he also moved to Lusaka, but he was doing a different program at a different school.
Yeah.
So I never got to see him.
Mm.
So in college, I met Celestine.
Yep.
We
Yep.
hang out a lot. And it was kind of like a similar thing with my friend in high school. It's like after class, we
Yeah.
hang out together, just playing music.
Yeah.
And then eventually, I was like, wait, let's just do it.
Yeah.
We're already doing it. Let's just do it. And then we also came across a drummer. We found ourselves a bassist.
Mm-hmm.
And we just started making music, found some places to perform. We did Pray for Dust.
Yeah, the first ever rock show we did, yeah, was together. Hey, at the Brown Frog, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Why'd you look like why'd you look like you're cringing?
I was going through some photos.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, and it's like the hair. I'm like, why did they let me out?
Yeah.
With the hair. And I also remember that my mom and her friends were part of the audience at one of the shows at that venue.
Oh, nice.
So I remember vividly my mom screaming my name, and I was like, Mom, I'm
My mom loved you guys as well. Yeah, because you guys played soft rock, quote unquote, and then we came through and just like tore the place down with metal and noise rock. You know, it's just like, what are you guys doing? It's like, you guys, your music is too loud, but your friends, I liked your friends. You know, your friends' music, it was really nice and soft. You know, so I remember you always wanted to play heavier music. You always like,
not really, not even.
Yeah.
Not even. It's like I didn't like it when we were seen as that.
Yeah.
It's like I still do want my music to be good as it is.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be like a safe space.
Yeah.
When Tumelo is making noise and then they're like, where is Binda's music? Oh,
yeah.
This is soft. I was like, no, just like it if you like it. Don't run through it because there's somebody else who's like making too much noise.
Yeah. But I remember but I remember at the time you always like, you know, because you'd like, we talk about bands like Breaking Benjamin and 3 Days Grace and whatnot.
Yes.
You're like, you know, you're like, I would love to sound like that. Even Linkin Park.
I still do.
Yeah.
I still do.
Yeah.
I just don't know. It's like I don't know. It's like also because I've always been with an acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
I managed to get an electric now.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, it feels like, man, with acoustic, I like already know what I have to do. But with electric, I'm like, oh, there's a whole other thing that I have to now learn. Not just with the technique, but then I have to like find the guitar effects and find the correct tone.
Yeah.
And all that thing. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, and finding the right guitar.
I'll do it.
Yeah. Finding the right guitar as well. You know. What guitar are you playing? Electric guitar. Yeah.
Got Epiphone SG.
Oh, okay. I was expecting you to go Fender. I
do want to go Fender.
But the price is crazy.
Man, it's so insane. It's
Yeah,
it needs saving up for a Fender.
nice. But with the yeah, what was I gonna say? I just lost my train of thought. Muka, shoot your question. What was I
Just
going with?
hearing types of guitars and stuff. I'm like, ha ha
Oh,
ha.
yeah. As far as like tone is concerned, like with the whole tonality paraphernalia of things, like are you, which side do you like? Oh, what are you partial to as far as tonality is concerned, like tone and whatnot? What do you look for currently?
Like, you've listened to Pineapple Thief?
Dude, yes. Have you heard the new single?
No, I don't. I heard there's an album coming out. So
yeah, yeah.
for the album.
They dropped a single leaked, and
Leaked.
yeah, and I've been listening to it. Oh, I listened to it all week, man. Ah, dude, it's amazing. But I feel like, yeah, okay, nice. So that's what you've been listening to?
Yes, there's I can't remember the name of the album.
Yeah,
with the song In Exile. Is the album In Exile as well?
Look, no. I've been, let's see. No. Yeah, I got introduced to Pineapple Thief recently, and that's because I was listening to lots of Porcupine Tree. Have you heard of Porcupine Tree?
No, I haven't.
So the drummer from Porcupine Tree plays in Pineapple Thief as well. And
it's a very good drummer, according to that album.
Yeah. What's his name?
The drummer. I'm like,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think he pretty much makes the band, because every YouTube video I've watched that comprises of the band, like if you go down to the comment section, most of the comments are about the drummer. Yeah, like how he's like highly well revered, and like he's a pretty big deal as well. What's his name? Gavin? Is it Gavin? No, not Gavin. But I don't remember his name. But yeah, it's pretty amazing, man. So that's how I got introduced to Pineapple Thief, and I only listened to them maybe once or twice, but I really like their music, and they sound really similar to Porcupine Tree. So I was like, I'm just shocked that you listen to that. That's the progressive, well. Yeah, that's the progressive rock realm. Like,
and I came across that album by accident.
Yeah.
We were on a music website, like back, I think that was 2015.
Yeah.
There's this music website with like lots of different albums. And then that was my first time on the website. Yeah. And I was asking like, wait, how do I find like the genres?
Yeah.
I was just pick something randomly. And I was like, Pineapple Thief, we'll take that one. And then he showed me how to download. It was like the album we were using, like learn how to download music from the website. And then I listened to it and I was like, wow, that was a very good choice.
Nice. Are you buying music
as far as
these days?
Guitar tone? Yeah, like from the Chinese websites.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, the Chinese websites have like easier access to your bank information. So if you need to buy an album, you just few clicks and you're done. The other websites require like the Visa card and my bank thing, and I don't know my bank details. So like,
okay. How did that happen?
You don't know your bank details.
There's there's this 3 or 4 numbers from the back of my bank card that got scratched off.
Oh, snap.
Not your bank.
No, I know
account number. Yeah.
Yeah, I know the numbers.
I lost those, and I was like, I need to find them. But then I don't have to look like I stole the thing. I need to convince them that this is my thing. I just lost the last digits. If you can help me out.
I haven't gotten to that yet.
Good try.
Too troublesome. Yeah.
Guitar tone.
Yeah.
So there's songs I have when I listen to Pineapple Thief, I'm like that tone, and then there's just like the clean guitar sound that you find in like some indie songs. If you haven't already, then you should check out Julian Baker.
Okay.
This is like making some music that I feel like, oh, that's nice. That's inspiration. I find that very, very, very good. I would love to like have elements of that kind of music in my music.
Nice.
And they're like very, very different guitar tones. There's one with like the distortion and gritty sound, and then one is just like clean with like finger picking.
Yeah. Do you use an effects pedal these days with your electric guitar?
Not really, but my amp, the one I'm using, has like different kinds of effects.
So how do you switch between sounds? Do you have a switch, or like?
Yeah, it does have a switch, but I've never even performed with this thing before.
Oh, okay. Cause I was wondering, because I was like, if there's like, if your song is segmented as far as structure and texture is concerned, sound layering, sound design, how do you switch between sounds while playing? Like, I'm sure you noticed that
it does have a foot switch. Yeah.
So
you can only
does.
switch. Yeah, it's like you have, I think, 2 or 3 channels.
Yeah.
With like presets, so you can switch between those during a performance. Yeah.
What presets does it have?
Just like all the effects that you need. There is like choruses, the delays, the different modulations, and the drives.
Nice.
If you want to have some overdrive, so you can really like work through. And it has like different. It emulates, it's like a digital amp, so it has like emulators of different amps. So it tries to have emulators of different amps, different guitars, so you can switch from like a whole set of like, okay, this is a Marshall with this kind of head with like this kind of guitar, and then you switch to a whole different thing, so you can switch from those, or you can just make up your own.
What amp is it? What amp are you using?
Stanley. There are people who Stanley is always making fun of my line 6.
Okay.
So it's like a line 6 240 WOV.
Is it currently plugged in?
No, it isn't.
Oh,
it
okay.
Hasn't been for a while, because
I was gonna ask you to like demo something. Anyway.
Oh, I'll try. I'll try and do something for you later.
We could get to that. Cool. Anyway, so I think we sideswiped for a bit there and started nerding out over music equipment and your entire arsenal.
But I think it's you still touched a bit closer to what's happening at college.
Yeah.
Like the same the bank details stuff. Like I think it's still connected. Like how about the gigs there in China? Like how does that work out? Like you say there are fans that's already set up, like you're guaranteed that there would be fans. Like how is that really?
Oh no, that was me in class with my students. It's like instead of teaching them anything, I'll just go and perform in class. And then make them like buy tickets or something. Like I'm the teacher. What I say goes. As far as performances in China, it's a bit, how do I say, it's a bit disappointing, because I don't know if it's the same for like different countries, but for here, if you're a student, you're a student. Your work is in class, and your visa says you're a student, so you don't really perform unless it's like a school-related activity. So there is lots of like live houses, lots of venues, lots of like festivals, but you just can't walk up to them to say, "Oh, can I audition for anything like that?" It's like you're restricted to being just a student.
Okay. So are you what are you working towards? Is it a degree, or is it? I mean, is it like a like a bachelor's degree or a master's?
A master's in vocal music performance.
Oh, nice. So only post that is when you actually get out there and probably gig out more as far as the music festivals and
Yeah, because from after you finish studying, then you can apply for like a work visa, and then you can approach like the performance venues and things like that as a person who's like working.
Nice.
Not really a student anymore.
Nice. Okay. Dope. So as we never actually got to the name of your band in college, for those that do not know. How did you what was the band? How did you come up with the band name, and as far as like composing music as a collective?
It's like I think back at that name and I'm like, man, that was it's almost a bit like romantic ideology that you have towards music. So it's like Stardust Avenue.
Yep.
It's like, well, how did you come up with the name Stardust Avenue? It's like I used to live in the 12th Avenue, and my friend used to live in the 13th Avenue. It was like two different parts of the
cul-de-sac
of the area that we lived in. Yeah, so I used to live on the west side. He used to live on the east side. But where the west side ended, was like my place. And then you move to the next east side, and the first street is his place.
Oh snap! So the Bloods and the Crips were actually neighbors. Yeah, technically that makes you Bloods. Explains the red.
Really?
The red. What's the red? Is that the red? Is it headgear? I see red headgear in the background.
Yeah, it is a headgear we got from a Russian bar.
Freaking Bloods, man.
Or I am a Crip.
You're a Crip?
You.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'm in blue. What up, cuh?
Yeah.
So
I think you feel like you've done this before many times.
Have I though?
That came out too naturally.
There's a hidden side of my life that you don't know about.
We're learning many things about you this evening.
Gunslinging. Okay. Sorry. Muka, you look shocked, man.
Don't worry. Partly I'm just like drained from the wedding, so
don't don't doze off on us. So you lived
we came from two different avenues.
Yeah.
And then in my mind it was like, bro, when we make it big, we will trail off into the stars because we're like stars. So we leave a trail of dust in this avenue. It'll be like Stardust Avenue. Like, whoa, that was cool.
Yeah.
Let's use that as our new name. Children.
Feel the same way about my previous band name as well. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, that's how we and then that band name, because we came up with the name. We came up with like a bunch of different names. But then this time we used to like check on Google to see which names have been taken, because there were so many bands. So we're just like, all right, just come up with the most random thing I can think of. You do it, you Google, and they're like, blah, 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 Norwegian band from 2010. And you're like, who are these people?
Yeah.
So we came up with Stardust Avenue after like many tries.
Yeah.
Checked Google, and then we were like, Stardust Avenue, clothing brand. And then we went to their Facebook, and we were like, last activity was like 2001, and this was like 2010.
Yeah.
We're like, man, these guys, they went bankrupt. They're done.
Yeah.
We're taking this name. that's how we stuck with the name, and I used the name with my friends in college, like for maybe like two years, and then all of a sudden, this clothing brand came back to life. I was like, dude, we thought you had died. We already have the name. We already have made music under the name.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, we need to change. It's like, and I actually saw one of my friends from Facebook like the clothing brand.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm pretty sure he doesn't know who they are.
Yeah.
But he knows the name, and they were like, oh, like, and I'm like, now they're stealing our likes, so we have to rebrand.
Oh snap! You guys should form like you guys should form like a partnership of sorts
with the clothing brand.
Yeah, it would have been good. It would a good way to brand.
They could make.
Yeah,
they could make.
It would work both ways.
Props for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where were you during that time?
Merch, man.
A little too late, Camelo.
Okay. I mean, yeah. Sorry, man. You learn a few things. You learn a few things being in the music business, sort of. You know, like the business side of things sucks, man. Yeah. But you kind of have to like take it up as an artist as well. It
comes with.
Yeah, you have to understand it. How are you handling that? So, okay, you're not doing it as a business yet, but how do you plan on handling that? Do you plan on being hands-on as far as that's concerned, or are you just gonna like hire a manager to like, you know?
I would love to be hands-on. I think it's a skill that you need as an artist. That's how I feel. That's one of the reasons I started like recording, trying to like produce music, just so I could have like the experience. One of my first experiences recording was it would have been better if I had knowledge of recording.
Yeah. Because
we were being asked questions by the recorder, the producer.
Yeah.
He was like, so what are you thinking? And we're like, I don't know, music. It's like, no, I mean like, what kind of feel do you want for this song? It's like a musical feel. It's like, no, I mean what kind of guitar is like, or what effects do you want? I was like, the guitar effect. Right now, after the recording process, I have come across like reference tracks.
Yeah.
It's like if you have a reference track, it makes the person who's recording the song, if you like just give them the track to say, all right, so here's like a very like basic idea, and then we'll work off of that, and then you get like certain terminologies, and then you can guide a bit. That's if the producer is like into having the artist like input frequently. I know some producers don't like that, so like for the artist part, I think it helps. You're a bit more hands-on with different things, so you're not completely lost.
Yeah,
more creative control.
Yeah, I agree. We went through that as well when like during the making of the Sanguine Stasis Prey album. Like when we sent it out to a friend of ours to like master it, to as far as like engineering was, because it's like he's an audio engineer, so we sent it to him to like master it, and he was like, what like he said the same thing about like regarding reference tracks, like what would you want it to sound like? It's like I don't know, just make it as heavy as you can. You just master the album, but no, like you have to point out some reference tracks that you'd like it to like sound like, even as far as mastering is concerned. Like there's that's a
See, I didn't even know you needed reference track even when mastering.
That's a whole nother world. Yeah, because and now when you listen to different bands, you'll be like, oh, okay, the mastering in this one kind of like sucked, man, that one sounds better. Yeah, so yeah, but I remember sending him like Chevelle songs and like Breaking Benjamin songs, and like just make it heavy, but like still like clean, but still like heavy and grungy. I don't know, like Avenged Sevenfold and whatnot. Anyway,
man, I love that album of yours, you guys.
Oh, thanks, man. I just feel like, anyway, you know what? I'm not gonna
Yeah. It never goes away.
It never goes away.
It's always there. It's like.
Wait, which one are you referring to? The Stasis Spray album or like the new band?
The Stasis Spray album.
Oh,
not Florets.
No, not Florets.
I haven't listened to Florets album yet.
Cool. That's an EP actually, but yeah.
Semantics.
But Sanguine is okay, I guess. Looking back in retrospect,
it's more than okay, but whatever.
It's all right.
He hates his own stuff.
So Stardust Avenue happens. Yeah. You play a few gigs in Lusaka.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What happens after? Yeah.
The thing, and then we just kept growing. We just kept growing, and then I kept bringing more songs.
Yeah.
To the band, and we kept having like more performances.
Yeah.
And then we had to change the name because of that plastic clothing brand.
You know, you never told me that story. Yeah, you made up some kind of cool story as far as changing the name was concerned. I think.
Really, I think it's a very interesting story. I always like that plastic clothing brand. I need to check to see if there's still.
You never mentioned the blasted clothing line at the time. I think you just said you wanted like a name that just stands out on its own or something like that.
Yes. Yeah. And that's one of the other reasons is because Stardust Avenue was with me and my friend from high school.
Yeah.
So that's how the name was. But then right at that moment, it was me and three other friends from college.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, it's not even that much of a plastic clothing brand because it's like the name was for like that other boy.
Yeah.
So let's have a different name to like represent these new people that we now have. So I was like, what do we do? Let's come up with a new name. And then I just brainstorming. I was like, to be on the safest side, have to come up with the word that doesn't previously like really exist. So we just kind of like made up a name.
Yeah, which was I want you to say it because people.
Yeah, I've been waiting to hear it.
No, as in people mispronounce it a lot, and I want the owner of the name to like say it so people learn.
No, it's like it's Avaleum.
Avaleum, yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's one of my favorite words in the English language is mausoleum.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, if I could make a word that would kind of sound similar, but not with that kind of meaning.
Yeah.
Then it was like Avaleum.
Nice.
And it's very weird to pronounce. It's very weird to pronounce. I understand when it gets mispronounced. I'm like, yeah.
I heard people pronounce it as Avaleum, Avaleum. Zambia's always
my
like.
bandmates also pronounce it. I'm like, dude, we're in the same band. You know the name. Why are you doing this? So, Avaleum, Tien.
It was the same with Stasis Spray. Remember how people would always go like Status Spray or Stasis Sprayer? Stasis. No, the manager from Bongo Hive, former manager. I think you met her as well, Stacy, because you guys got a gig there before we did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Stacy was awesome, man. But yeah, she felt. I think she thought the name was Stacy's Prayer.
Oh.
So it was like,
That actually sounds cool.
Yeah, like Stacy's Prayer, but it sounds more like a pop punk rock band. Anyway, so Avaleum happens. Since you're not signed to like a record label, were there any repercussions regarding like the name change? Did it like impact a certain movement differently, or did it change your sound as well? Was it, I don't know, I think
for that one, when we changed the name, in my mind I was like, so this name really doesn't have anything, so whatever it has or whatever it will have is up to us. It doesn't really have like an immediate sound that you think of when you see the name.
Yeah.
or at least for me it didn't. So I was like, so whatever sound that we will have, it's up to us now. It's like we will redefine
Yeah.
this name. We will define it with our approach. So we just went on and like made songs, but then we still had like most of the same songs from Stardust Avenue. So
Yeah.
it was kind of like just being carried forward.
Nice. Any highlights from that period? You know, like as far as playing live was concerned, as far as just being a band and doing things together.
I think one of the highlights as far as performance is concerned is the Zamrock festival that we had in Longacres. That one I think was one of my favorite performances that we've ever had.
Yeah. We opened for
Just
the Witch as well, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was
I just
the
remember
one.
it. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't forget that one.
Yeah.
Unless you've had like better performances, then you can forget it. But for me, I think back and I'm like, that was very good. The sound engineering, just the environment was so good.
Yeah, it was amazing.
But we forgot to tune our guitars. We were actually reminded of it by a drunk guy in the audience.
Really? You guys sounded good. Like you sounded.
It was just for the first song.
Oh, okay.
Because it's like I was rushing my guitarist to like hurry up, get on stage, and then he's like, dude, I need to tune my guitar.
Yeah.
And then whenever I get on stage, I'm like the one in front.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay, now I have to do something. I'm here now.
Yeah.
And I don't want to start talking because like my stand-up is not that good. So if I start cracking jokes, he will be like, boo. And I'm like, I'm not even here for the jokes. I'm just, I'll be singing, just wait. So I was there.
I think you have your moments.
Rare. I would like for them to be like more frequent, more reliable.
Yeah. I always like that about John Mack. Did you ever? You never got to experience John Mack, did you?
It's like no, I haven't. Never. Just
do you guys know each other? Oh, online, yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he's an amazing showman, an amazing frontman. Like, yeah, he knows how to get the job done. I can
tell from the videos.
Yeah. Anyway, so
that's good. That's good, bro. Because for me, I'm like one of the awkward front people. It's like I'm there and I'm like looking at my drummer, like, why are you so far back?
Yeah,
it's like you could get closer. It's like no, I'm drumming from the back. Yeah, I look at my guitarist wearing a cap.
Yeah,
looking down. I was like, dude.
Classic Celeste.
You guys are abandoning me.
Yeah, I'm alone in this.
You're alone.
Yeah, I can almost relate, man. Yeah. Well, I can relate.
Your frontmanship is admirable.
No, for me it was only as far as like performance was concerned, but not. I don't know about like crowd interactivity.
Management.
Like, yeah, it was.
It's not.
I don't know. Like I don't even remember any classic moments as far as that. I don't know. You guys watched from the other end, so maybe you remember it better than I do. So I'm not gonna argue with you there.
Where I win this round?
Yeah. Where were we?
The highlight.
The highlight. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the highlight.
Yeah.
Just regret that I don't have the videos from, because I remember Gio was shooting a documentary.
Oh,
that performance was organized around him shooting like a documentary. So I was like, where are the videos? Like they will be in the documentary.
It's a documentary.
So we have to wait. I saw a trailer.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's out yet. I saw a trailer, like I think.
Yeah, we actually did an interview for that documentary as well, right? That awkward interview.
Evelyn Horn.
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah, just remember it. Yeah, we've been through so much. I
wonder if they'll keep the footage.
Yeah, I hope that interview is lost, man. That one. Yeah, that one was,
Nah, I want to hear.
That one was cringy. I remember. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I
Those moments,
I'm posting it on our channels.
Yeah. Well, does Gio have?
Just blur out my face.
Mine too. Does Gio have a YouTube channel?
I don't think so. I'm only aware of a Facebook page.
Facebook page, yeah. What's it called again? Is your clam in a jam? Clam in a jam.
Is your clam in a jam? Yeah, they have a very nice playlist on Spotify.
Nice. Yeah, I'll get back to that then. Yeah. So then you guys play a couple of shows in Lusaka. There's a highlight. You get to open for The Witch, get to meet Jaggery, and converse. I don't know, did you converse, break bread a little? Or it was just
actually,
that,
it's like we had met Jaggery at Evelyn Horn.
Yeah.
Then that's the day he told us about the whole documentary that they'll be shooting.
Yeah.
And then we met at the show again.
Yeah.
Then we met again previously before the show. They were shooting like a different scene.
Yeah.
So we were having just like a jam session indoors, just at the same place of the venue, but then inside.
Yeah.
And then we met again somewhere else in Chilenje.
Yeah. That's so random. You just met Jaggery in Chilenje. Yeah. Yeah, Jaggery is awesome.
He is.
Very enthusiastic as well. Yeah. Yeah.
It's infectious energy.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I just wonder how their band sounded like the original members.
Oh, dude, I'm sure it was. You haven't listened to The Witch?
No, I mean live.
Oh, live, yeah. Hey, dude, I'm sure it was just like a different type of energy. Yeah.
I can
only imagine.
It was very strange. It's like when I was doing my thesis back in Evelyn Horn in Lusaka.
Yeah.
I was doing it about rock music in Zambia. So during that period, I found a lot of rock bands.
Yeah.
In the 60s era in Zambia.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, like, wait, how is this possible?
Yeah.
Like, how did this happen? Like, we went through this era of so much different kinds of like rock music.
Yeah. And then
it had really, really heavy like rock music. They had it.
Pongozi and
Fast forward to today.
Yeah.
I see a couple of guys with T squares doing GMD, pretending they're guitars.
Yeah.
And they're like, there's no rock music in Zambia. What are you guys doing?
Dude,
but wait, these guys were alive.
They did it back, in the 60s and 70s. This is something that I've been talking about, but for me it's been in tandem with like ancient civilizations. I've been wondering about that because like dude, if you look back at like, you don't have to go as far as like I was gonna go as far as like Rome, like ancient Rome, how they had like certain tools that they would engineer, to like navigate the stars or know about the star systems and the like outer space and solar systems
using the stars.
Yeah, I mean if you look at whatever they etched in stone and whatnot, they etched the solar system. You could see clearly this is the sun, and they had knowledge about the planets and whatnot. You could look at like there's a place in South America called Nazca. It's like it's an area with lots of mountains, but then it looks like a runway strip as well. Like one of the mountains is like its summit. Its summit is like sliced, like it's so like pristine. Like it looks like it was sliced using a laser or something, man. Like it's
something that can accurately make a flat strip.
Exactly, a flat strip, and then you'd obviously look for signs of like rubble at the bottom, but there's no rubble whatsoever. It's just a straight runway.
So it was sliced off and taken away somehow.
And then there's like huge art pieces on the mountain, man. Like these art pieces wouldn't be seen by someone standing on the ground. They would have to be seen by someone that's above the ground, like someone flying. So it's so weird, man. This was done in the, I don't know, like in the BCs, man. So
before Corona.
but mostly.
That's what I heard. That's what PC
Yeah,
stands for now.
that's what it stands for now. But yeah, it's just amazing that all that stuff was done there and then. You don't have to go as far back as far as like Nazca Islands or Rome. We could look at Egypt. I just learned recently that Cleopatra, yeah, Cleopatra's era dates closer to the invention of the iPhone compared to the construction of the pyramids of Giza. Yeah, so that just shows you how like really like super ancient and old they are, man. Like it was probably during the time when
that civilization.
yeah. So there was like a different era of civilization that existed then, and they had the technical know-how as far as like building the pyramids was concerned. But if you go to Egypt right now and ask them how that was done, no one has any knowledge whatsoever. So it's like, what happened in between, right? Like what how did all this knowledge get lost? You look at Rome and all the structures they put up. They had weird aqueducts and whatnot. They did really amazing things. Like, I mean, I'm sure you've heard of the astrolabe as well. You know, like, how did they have all that stuff back then? All that technical know-how and advancements in technology. But then, like, if you go there and ask someone about all of that today, like, no one has any knowledge whatsoever about, you know, like that era and the tools.
I think it's similar to, in fact, it's sort of similar to the Mandela effect.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
something just overshadows but I think it's working in the opposite. Like, you see what is there now.
Yeah.
And even if there was knowledge, people forget.
People don't know. Yeah.
Something was essential to creating this. So just like music itself, you have those artists from the past, the witch and so on. People ignore what was happening then, not realizing that very same thing might have even affected the growth of these new bands like Riot Inc. and so on. So
no, but then look, what I'm trying to say is, look, I agree with you, Muka, but like what Binda is saying, there's like a selective few that like there's a minority demographic that actually knows of this era, of that era. But then it's like, for the most part, as far as like rock music is concerned, people say this is like it's like foreign, you know, and it kind of still is. It kind of still is. Like listening, being a rocker in Zambia is like, I don't know. It's almost like a niche market. It's a niche demographic, you know. So it's like, why? But we had this. We kind of had our own sound even back then. I think the Americans termed the witch sound as acid rock or something like that. It wasn't psychedelic, but yeah. But I'm just saying that era existed. So why does it seem like it's alien or like new? Even to this day.
I had a thought where I was like, perhaps it's the fact that like majority of the bands in Zambia are singing in English.
Oh yeah.
So perhaps they're using that language to say no, it's foreign because it's not in any of our languages. But then when you listen to the music from back then, they were singing in English.
Exactly.
The Witch has like many songs that they were in English, and they also had some songs which were in vernacular.
More songs in
English, I'd say.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's not the language aspect. It's not the instruments. We're using the same kind of instruments. So I don't know, like that huge disconnect where you look at something that you've had before and say, what is this? Never seen this thing before.
Yeah.
And during my thesis, I was like, there was a part where I had to like interview many people. So I was interviewing my lecturers, and I was surprised that they were so knowledgeable about the whole era. Like one of them even had like this very animated kind of like reaction, talking about it like it's reciting an action movie.
Oh, nice.
I was like, where is this energy coming from? It's like that's what we needed in this moment when we're like doing it. We needed to see that people were like, oh, you guys are doing this.
Yeah.
Wait till you hear about what was done before you guys, and then we just like encourage them to do it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it'll always be a mystery, man. Like where the disconnect. Like I could go on and on and on and on. It will end up going down a rabbit hole.
I'm actually going to consider researching this. It's peculiar.
But you know what I think happened though?
Peculiar.
Like, okay, if you look at like disasters that like strike Earth, you know, like the volcanic eruptions or like a meteor striking Earth and whatnot, or the ice age. If such a thing were to happen, God forbid, but it is kind of happening. Corona, there's like a pandemic now, right? So like the civilization is sort of like it's going down a weird tangent. But if something like this were to affect us at a worse level, who do you think would survive? Obviously not the geeks and the pampered people like us that are like always indoors and used to having like 5 meals a day and always in front of like our computers and whatnot. I think the people that would survive are the people that already live through harsh conditions. Say, for example, in Africa, you look at the San people or the Maasai or the Pygmies in Congo, or you go to the Amazon jungle, you look at the guys that live down over there in the Amazon jungles, the guys that survive there, where for them it's like they have to go out.
Watched a terrible movie.
Yeah, they have to go out and like hunt. There's that other island as well. That's inhabited by by cannibals, man. Like yeah, no cannibals.
Untouched island.
Yeah, that you know it, right? Yeah. No one has ever been there. There's like this one French journalist that tried to go there and he got eaten up, man. And whenever they see like you know, like any UFO, an identified flying object, it could be a chopper or like a plane, they start to like throw spears at it. Like I don't think Corona is on that island, and if it is, they're like so genetically enhanced that they're like far beyond us. So I think those are the people that would survive any like natural disaster, like a pandemic or like a meteor striking Earth and whatnot. But say, for example, if one of us survived, we just so happened to like miraculously survive, and then we found ourselves living with the Pygmies or living with the Sun people, and then we still have our knowledge of like tech and whatnot, don't you think we'd like pass on our knowledge to these people? We'd teach them about like what a phone is, or what a computer is.
The problem with that is there's a hubris. So your superiority will make you think, okay, so I'm the only genius among these. Okay, good.
Okay,
so guys, this is a cell phone.
Okay, look, okay.
I'm your master.
No. But what if it's not like that? What if it's not only one person that survives, right? What if it's say the three of us, and we say, okay, dude, like we're still alive. Then Binda starts to teach people in like music theory, and they know, this is what a guitar is, like, this is what an amp is, and you teach them software engineering, and I teach them I don't know, stuff to do with physics and whatnot. So they learn about that. Yeah, carry on.
I'll just say, like, even if it was a whole class of people, like these are the only people with knowledge, like let's say 30.
Yeah.
They would form something like, do you know right now there's one family that's above everyone else? The 1% of 1% of 1%.
Yeah, we know about the elite.
Yeah. They must have started a long time ago.
Yeah,
accumulating
it's generations.
I always come to an estimate of such a thing. If something terrible happens and you, the 30 of you, are the only survivors of like the higher level in society, where would you place God in that conversation? You'd be like, wow, this doesn't make sense. Like, we're the ones who have survived, might as well be the gods, because human beings have got. I know you're going to say
the God complex.
One good example is Dr. Stone. You know the story.
I was just thinking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like obviously there would be maybe one or two people who are like, nah, bruh, we have to share the knowledge. We have to. But then remember how nature works, because there it's now survival of the fittest. The one who wants to take over will have a bigger drive to like make things happen. And guess what? His first instinct will be to get rid of the altruist, the good-hearted person, and as I just estimate most of it going that way.
I only watched like 4 episodes of it. I need more, man.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It is interesting.
Dude,
I was checking out the manga before I watched it, and for me, the only thing I kept thinking about is like, man, I don't know how a phone works. It's like I know how to operate a phone, but if like what happened in the comic, in the anime were to happen, and then I was there, I would be like, oh, we had phones, and then they would be like, oh, really? Can you make one? I'll be like, I can't.
But I definitely like I subscribe to the idea to the theory to some degree. Like I think it's very probable, man, that somewhere along the way things just got lost in translation, and then knowledge was like passed on. But then the knowledge that was passed on, it was almost like a Chinese whisper, you know, like, oh, okay, it just downgraded like the more decades passed by, and then.
But for us with our Zamrock, how long has it been for such an effect?
No,
to like...
we had incidents. Like think about the era in which, like the Witch specifically, in which era were they in? That was like the disco age. And then that was like Zambia prospering and stuff like that. Between
was it the disco age?
90s,
no, wasn't it the 60s?
The disco age came.
It
came after
and 80s.
Oh, okay, yeah, maybe
70s and 80s.
But it was
like
the 60s.
They were still prominent in that period.
Oh, and there is a very good documentary on YouTube if you haven't seen it, where someone like summarized the whole Zamrock era.
Oh yeah, I haven't. It's been popping up.
One of the reasons that they declined in amongst like the whole like AIDS pandemic, and one of the other reasons is that there was this whole disco where it was people that they would pay less to have music for longer periods when just the DJ is there just pressing music, as opposed to having like a band of actual people playing, and they will pay money, but then the people can't play like for hours and hours and hours. So it's like most of the venues were just opting to have like we'll just have a DJ, just have someone pressing music. So the disco era came after the Zamrock.
I remember that being talked about. Anyway, this one will drag on and it won't end.
It's actually interesting to look back into that.
So going back to Binda, where did we end?
There were highlights, and then
the highlights
after that, I don't know what came after that.
So we talked about the Zamrock era.
So downhill from there.
Yeah, the Zamrock era. So, the new band name. Did you record any music under any of the bands?
We did like I think three recordings under Stardust Avenue, but I think they were re-released under Avaleum. That was just acoustic because we had not gotten to the part where we were performing as a full band, but we never got to the part of recording as a full band. So all the music we did was just like acoustic versions of our songs. We did, I think, with our drummer, because our drummer is also a music producer, so he did the recordings.
Nice. So did you ever get to like you never signed to like a label or anything of the sort where you got to like, or did you ever put your music on platforms where it could be sold? Did you ever try to make it a business, or it was just you guys enjoying the music for the passion?
It's like all the money that we made was from performances. We had not yet become official in that aspect where you had like labels and like you monetize your music.
Yeah.
It was just gigs.
Yeah. So I wanted to pick your brain as far as that's concerned. Like as far as making a living off music in Zambia is concerned. What's your take on that? Is it something feasible or? Yeah. How do you? What's your take on that?
I think like it is feasible, but I think if you, especially like in the age of internet,
Yeah.
if you put it in your head to say music in Zambia, it means music in Zambia.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're like you just have your one country in your mind to say it's Zambia.
Yeah.
Just for the Zambians. So
Yeah.
it's like you have that, you limit it. But if you make the music to say, I'm making the music in Zambia, but it can be accessed by people from everywhere,
Yeah.
which means you have people from outside who might be interested in your music,
Yeah.
which means you might have like recording or performing or collaboration opportunities from just anywhere, not just from your country.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like from Zambia, but then for everyone to listen to.
Yeah.
If you limit it to just the country, which means I think that would be a bit more difficult.
And is that something you've seen is like an issue or a problem that's percolated in Zambia? Like, do you feel like people are one-dimensional in that regard, or maybe they're opening up a little bit more now?
I'd say some artists are very much like opening up, like making music that can be consumed by more than just the local people. But other artists are like I feel like they're fine with it.
Yeah.
They're just like they're content with having music that's like how can I say, like it's an inside joke.
Yeah.
They're just it's fine.
Yeah.
It's like as long as I can say it and my mom laughs, I'm fine with it.
I'm okay
Other
with
people
it.
are like, no, I need my neighbors to be laughing along with everyone else.
Nice.
So I think it's just maybe depends on like the aspirations of the people who are making the music.
Yeah. It's yeah, so it's subjective to the people making it. So okay, then so you get to play a few gigs here and there, maybe make some money. I don't know if you made any money from the gigs here. I know that the pay wasn't too good from the most of the gigs we played. Like we put in more than we.
Yeah, but we were in college.
Yeah, so
we were college students, so it was like a huge amount for college students.
Yeah, true. Yeah, just
I went and crashed at Martin's place.
Yeah.
That was Mwalu was also around.
Yeah, Mwalu was there as well. Yeah. That's the time you guys were getting all freaky with a mannequin. I still have that picture, by the way. I'm gonna upload it and tag you in it and let the whole world see
it.
That mannequin.
That poor mannequin. But on second thought, I'm not gonna do that because so many like the world is going crazy and so many people are woke nowadays that that could come back to bite you. That could come back to bite you. So I'll send.
Okay. Share it in our group.
Yeah, I'm gonna personally share it with you guys, but I'm not gonna upload it or anything. Yeah.
But Mwalu is also in the
you shouldn't put a caption. Keep it local.
Oh, I sent it to Mwalu already, and yeah. So yeah, man, these are weird times. I could come back to bite you actually. Now to think about it. So yeah, that happened.
I'd be interested to see how that happens.
Should we try out a social experiment? Like, are you?
No, but I'm not someone enough for that to come back and bite me.
But you will become that, and then someone is gonna
like
look into the archives. Yeah.
All right. Here's this. My suggestion is like we use that as a gauging of like how big am I, or how big is my band? So it's like just post it, and when it comes back to bite me, I was like, yeah, I made it.
Okay, nice. We'll do. But then they'll be like, who posted it? Damn it! I'll be tired. I'll be
And who
tired
took
to
the
it.
picture?
Okay.
Who was the accomplice
Yeah.
taking the picture?
Yeah. Who was? So that I know in advance.
I took the picture. Do you remember that time we almost got beat up by a soldier when we were laughing at something else and he thought we were pointing at him?
Oh man, stay away from alcohol, kids.
Anyway, yeah, good times, man. That happened. We played a few shows together. Next thing I know, Binda has disappeared. Binda is in China. Like, Nani? You know, how did that? What happened there? Yeah, we never really got to talk about that.
How did that play out? It's like we were at Evelyn home. Oh man, here's what happened.
Yeah.
So during my thesis, it's like I had one lecturer.
Yeah.
Who was a bit odd.
Yeah.
So during my whole thesis, we had like a back and forth, and then he was like, "Do this again, and you see." And I was like, "Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do it." And then he's like, "I'm not joking." I was like, "Neither am I." And then it just so happened like I graduated a year later than I was supposed to.
Oh snap!
So during that period of where I was like trying to catch up with my whole thesis, I was told that there is a group of people who have an opportunity to go like for cultural exchange for like a year in China, and I was like, do I qualify? I was like, yeah, it's music. I was like, all right, let me try and apply while I'm doing my whole thesis, because I was still in Osaka and we were still performing with the band.
Yeah.
So I was like, that would be good. Go over there, see what's going on. I heard they have lots of like musical equipment. Who knows? I might come back with a few things. Yeah. So applied, got accepted, came over. That was 2016.
Yeah.
Studied for a year, and then after the year of study, they were like, "You guys, you have the opportunity because you did this. You can do like a whole full study course." I was like, man, but then I have my whole thing back home. I was only supposed to like take a small break and then like go back into the whole thing. I was like, yeah, just think about it. So I thought about it and I was like, all right, let's see how this goes.
Yeah.
And then it's going. And it's almost over.
Oh yeah?
It's almost over. Still have like less than a year. Next year in July will be done.
Okay. And you plan on coming back?
I do plan on coming back. Will my plans go through? I don't know. It's like I don't know.
Yeah.
You plan, but then
something else happens.
Something else
and
happens.
Our hero grows wings and flies to the stars.
Flies too close to the sun. No, but I do really want to come back. There's like lots of things I want to do when I come back.
Nice. Yeah, man. You and me still have pending projects together. So yeah, if ever that's gonna happen.
It will happen.
Remotely. Do you prefer to do it remotely or in person?
Can we do it remotely?
I think we could, man. Like we have extra time.
That's good. Yes.
But anyway, yeah, we'll talk, man.
That would be interesting.
Yeah,
that would be interesting. Because the age of internet technology.
I expect work. I'm a fan.
Yeah, man. I remember we were supposed to start like something together. Like I asked for your help because I wrote a few songs. I needed like people to. people to like play for me. Yeah.
And that was like your solo project.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like a solo project. Anyway, yeah, it grew to become Florette. I think I don't even know. So
And another thing,
yeah,
like what came out of me being here is like I still wanted to make music.
yeah,
So I was like, well, let me start this whole thing that I've been like aching to do, like away from the band.
yeah,
It's like with the solo thing, I was like, I would rather with the band we make music together, which means like we write, we
together.
compose
Yeah,
together as a band, then we can release the music as a band. And
yeah,
then for like these other songs that are a bit more like
personal.
I'll be like, let's do them as my solo thing. And then I would also love to have like collaborations with people.
Yeah,
So and also record music, make
yeah,
some demos.
yeah.
So yeah, it yielded some like positive things as well as other
Awesome.
things.
I mean, you always talked about it even back then. Like, dude, I'm thinking of starting like a side project. I'll call it Kafutubele. And I was like, oh, yeah. Back then, it wasn't it didn't sound as appealing because it's like, yeah, you want to use your name, man. You know, like egocentric much, you know, or whatever. But like,
No,
no,
no.
but no, as in, but now, you know, dude, like growing up and you know, being in touch with a lot more things that as opposed to back then, like it just makes perfect sense now, you know. So yeah, and besides,
I
yeah,
love it.
yeah,
I'm enjoying it.
yeah, and I'm happy you are, man. Yeah. Dude, we always there's a part of the podcast where you know we get to ask our guests if they attribute their talent and whatever they have been through to deity.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I remember this part
yeah.
of the podcast.
So this is the part, and I know personally where you stand or stood back then when we'd have our interesting
He's in
conversations.
China.
Yeah, but now, where do you stand now? Like with the
The same. I'm still
with your beliefs.
it's still the same. I'm
Yeah,
still the same. It's like
yeah,
I'm very much I don't know, but I've come to realize that I don't usually use the word atheist because
Wait,
I find that it has
you weren't really atheist back then either. You were more agnostic, if anything. From my perspective, because
maybe let me say like I think it's like the confrontational aspect because
yeah,
people usually like, want an atheist to be like in your face,
yeah,
and I'm like, hey, you have this belief, I don't.
yeah, and you know, no, but
So it's like
yeah, but the reason I say
I don't
you're
know which label does someone use when they're like, I don't care.
I think nihilist. Yeah,
Oh man,
yeah,
nihilism is so
Yeah,
bleak.
I
but
think
yeah,
so.
nihilism is like
But I don't care
like
in
it's
a positive
pointless. Or
aspect.
in a positive aspect.
In a
Huh.
positive aspect, it's like it's like not let's not focus on that as much as people usually want to. It's like forget it. What are we doing?
Mm. Well, yeah, I'd have to.
Okay, so
Yeah,
but that's like a stance after the fact. What is
After the fact,
your position in terms of this theological
I'm a
question,
full blown non-believer.
non-believer?
hmm I check the other box when there is like you're signing up for something like
Does God
religion. I'm like
exist? No.
other.
Uh,
yeah,
so it
It's like
basically it's just atheist, but without the politics, basically.
right now without the politics. Like in the beginning, it was very, it was very messy. Lots of blockings on Facebook.
Yeah, I remember you were
do you believe
quite
that?
active.
Because do you believe that your position is like final? Like there's nothing else to look out for, no other considerations, no other possibilities. Like the fact is, when you die, it's black.
And I
That's
for
it.
don't know how, like, I don't know why that usually like comes off as a negative thing. Like for me, it's like, oh, after you're dead, it's over. I'm like, it
Mm.
just comes as a relief. It's like, oh my, I don't have to deal with this anymore. After you're dead, it's over.
Yeah.
So it doesn't, in my ears, it doesn't sound like something so bad. Something
Yeah,
like you need to like.
it doesn't really have to,
Mhm.
because I mean, look at all the pain that's there in the world. If it all ends up to black, like nothing in the end, with that type of mindset, it's even better to just say, yeah, finally the chapter closes. You close the book, put it on
Mhm.
a shelf, forget about it. It can be a positive viewpoint, I could say. But the question is, like, in the end, you do not have any like assumptions of any other possibilities. It's just
Lights
black.
off.
Ah,
But
okay.
I think, but what?
And that was, yeah.
Sorry, I was gonna say, we as much as we went back and forth, Binda, even back then. Uh,
Yeah.
I never really got to ask if you at least tried to like explore other like religions. Did you ever like go through a phase of like soul searching, and then like and like still come to the conclusion that you go with currently?
Yeah, like soul
Yeah.
searching in Christianity, and
Christianity or
then
oh, okay, cool, yeah.
like certain spiritual like beliefs, not really like religious or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then some other religions, and then it's like I don't know. Like from my standpoint, it seems like different colors of the same thing, or like the fundamental thing is like it feels like it's the same. It all requires for you to have like this, how they say it, like faith. You
Okay.
need to
Yeah.
like you need to like understand only to a certain extent, and then the
Mm.
rest has to be like you need to have faith. So it's like
Mm.
none of them, like from as far as I had gone, none of them like really offered you something like you can hold on to.
Yeah.
It always stopped at one point, and then you're like, okay, for the rest of the journey, you just have to take my word for it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
For me, that's where I find it like really interesting. Like for me, that's where it the challenging question of is it worth it or making it worth it comes into play because like it's faith, man. You know, so it's
Yeah,
yeah.
and it's funny. It's funny for me.
But then for you, it's like the total opposite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I find that in many people. It's like
Yeah.
it's like you're talking about the same thing,
Mm.
but then you're looking at it from two different angles. Someone says that just take my word for it, and then someone embraces
Mm.
that and they're like, yes,
Yeah.
I'll do
I
it.
take your
And then
word.
you tell me that just take my word for it, and I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I'll need some collateral, like leave something. Let me hold your phone at least.
Yeah. And
So
then
it's like
Yeah.
it's the same thing, but people are relating to it differently.
yeah, and I heard this
Have you?
interesting. Sorry, you wanna ask Muka?
Yeah, I wanted to ask him like if he's watched the movie in Annihilation.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
brilliant movie.
You've watched it, right? You remember the
Mm.
concept behind it? Like the
Um,
what can I say, the overarching um statement the movie makes,
no.
like existence itself or matter itself is designed for destruction.
Mm.
That's beautiful.
Like for me, if I was in your place, like those would be places I would put myself into. Like if I don't really care about what comes after the fact, like at the end of my story, right? I'd like
Hmm.
to know why it is things are the way they are right now. Like, why do we start off like babies, and then as we near natural death, we tend to babies again, basically, like you're wearing diapers again. You need someone to take care of you again. Why does it have to go that way? And like for the movie, it's also played around with cancer, like the way cancer works. It initially multiplies and causes damage to the actual cells it's replicating and stuff like that. Like why should it be like that? Then you go a bit further, you even go like, okay, relationships, because it's kind of hard to go into a relationship and say I love you without any level of faith, right? Yeah, you see, like that, like you don't have faith in relationships. You don't have faith that this person can be truthful or honest. So I would ask myself again, like, if I do go into a relationship, is it just instinctual? Is this something that I just want to do physically? And then when I'm in it, I'm like, okay, I've trusted you with the only thing I have in my whole of existence. This life that I have, that I know I'm going to lose in the very end, I trust it with someone who's going to betray it. Like, that's again destruction in itself, because you also end up doing it to yourself because of the very thoughts. Like, this one's going to betray me. Might as well do the same. Like, I mean, if she's going to do what she wants, let me do what I want. You know what I mean, right? Like, that whole aspect. Like, for me, if I went into those questions, I would now come back to the question of how does it work then? Like, how do I make sense of this? And then some other questions open up. I don't know if you've ever bothered with such places. I don't know, like, because it's not just religion, it's life itself. Like,
yes,
it opens up all these questions. Like, whatever stance you have, if you're a Christian, I've got other things I would ask a Christian just to mess with their minds. Like, if you're going to believe in God and you don't hear his voice, how does that feel? Like, those simple questions, but it's life in itself. Like, you're going to go through this one ticket to death, this one trip to the empty void. Why should you go through it? How should you go through it? Should anything matter? Why should it matter? I don't know. Like, for me, if I was an atheist, those would be my questions. Because in the end, I'm the type, my mindset is, it's easy for me to come to a conclusion because I ask all the questions. And then when questions are not answered, I have to have an answer for myself. So if I was atheist, trust me, I would ask all those questions. And these are dangerous mindsets. These are mindsets where, okay, I don't believe in God, but I believe these monsters are terrible people I turn into. What's that guy's name? Dexter. I will stop monsters since these people believe in a God. I'll be that God, that type of thing. So, like, have you ever gone through those questions, like, for yourself and see where they lead?
Like, for me, I usually find that you can go through them, but then I find that there's always like a huge amount of time spent in that kind of mindset.
Yeah.
Like, I always find myself going back to like a more like simpler understanding, because there's lots of moments where people with religious beliefs and those people without having back and forth, back and forth. And then for me, I'm like, all right, you're trying to understand, but then, like, fundamentally speaking, who are you as a person and how are you relating to the other person? And it's like, it gets so big that people kind of like disregard interpersonal relationships. It's like, wait, so you have like established your belief, you believe in God, you have found the existence of a deity. It's like it's very important to you, and then someone comes to you and they ask for help and you're like, but I'm like, so what's the necessity of having a belief if you can't like help your fellow human being, if you can't be the kind of energy that like people want to be around? And the same goes for atheists as well. It's like the ideas get so big, people start talking about science. It's like the Big Bang. It's like, so you don't believe in God, you believe in the Big Bang. All these questions being shot back and forth, back and forth. But I always come back to like, but who are you as a human being? Like, honest, like, I know
Yeah.
people are
So
complicated.
like, what did you come up for yourself? I know that's like the core question that you had for yourself
Yeah,
specifically. Like, what conclusions did you have, you as a human being?
like I need to be a human being. And I need to. It's like some people say, but what does that mean with if you don't have belief? It's like I think it's easy. If you're having questions about what it means to be a human being, just be amongst people, and then you see what kind of things are working and what kind of things are not. It's like there's always negative emotions, and I don't know if you have to have the belief or not for you to be able to perceive an emotion as negative or positive. It's like people are drawn towards like positive things. We if you don't know what is negative or positive, just use your experience or go through it. The result will be able to tell you to say, oh, this is a good idea. And then from there you keep working towards like how to relate to people.
I think if that's the only question that you've like taken like hold of, like to your understanding, I don't even think you should label yourself anything, to be honest. I just feel like you're using your experiences themselves to
Yeah.
determine what it is to be human. You will never come to a conclusion like, I'm going to be an atheist because of this, if you haven't asked those other questions.
No, like
It's going to
for
be a
me the
waste.
atheism is already done.
Mm.
But then I find that
No,
some
like,
people too much time in like arguing atheism. For me, it's like, all
no,
right, I
that's the
understand
thing.
that.
Like, when I told you like asking yourself like if the nature itself is destructive and what, those are interpersonal like questions that would trigger me personally. Like, why should I continue being a Catholic? I've asked myself that, and I had answers which led me to leave the Catholic circle. It has to be something that's meaningful to yourself. Like, if I were you, like, I would use the instruments in hands, like music. You said your music. Ask you if your music can come from like your experiences with interacting with people, and so your music comes from two places, either um, it's the music, like the music you choose to listen to on your own, and also the music you use for and educational purposes. So that's like, if I was going to translate it to a Christian viewpoint, it's testimonies, because the Bible give testimonies themselves as a strong point to justify your state. Someone said, hey, I had a terrible life, I was a drug addict, and so on and so on. When I read the scriptures, I came out of it and stuff like that. That stands as a testimony for someone. So it's like secondhand information. And from what you were saying, it's not something you want to use. You choose to have something that's coming from within yourself, like a personal experience. Like, that's why I'm like, for me personally, if I was in your shoes, I would be asking those questions, not even caring about the people I'm talking to. Like this conversation as we're having it, I personally don't care about the politics. Everything has been debated. And if you have not had the debates, like you haven't experienced them, whether through documentaries and stuff, then you better go and watch those old YouTube videos and stuff, fill yourself with it and get angry in the day. But personally, you have to you have to ask those questions, and eventually they'll push you to actually be positive enough to say, hey, you know what? I think I've asked these questions. I don't believe at all. Like I don't need to just ask if I what it means to be a human being, but I also ask about why I exist and why I should exist, why I should care, why I shouldn't care. And in the end, nah, bruh, being an atheist, I don't need to care, because we're just human beings, and these bigger questions, I can do this without the church and stuff like that. Or you become a Christian, you're like, Bruh, I see all these Christians and I'm like, I have my own personal understanding, my own personal, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So personally, I don't think you need to pick any of those, not until you've bothered yourself to ask those time-consuming questions. And your music, trust me, like I personally would like to see how you go through that journey through your music. It would be interesting to see.
Yeah, and then even in tandem with that, like
Yeah.
like politics aside, have you? It's never really piqued your interest as far as like just humanity is concerned, like where we come from, our
Of
origins.
course, dude.
Yeah,
That's why I'm
like
saying I feel
how
like I have done the I have like done the whole personal, what do you call it? Like existential crisis of
oh yeah,
having
yeah,
your
Yeah.
mind blown to say what's going on.
yeah,
Well, what is going on and where is it going? When will it end? When did it begin?
yeah,
It's all it is very interesting, like from both perspectives.
yeah.
But I always feel like I don't know why. I don't know why people really need to have that like religious perspectives of like creation and all that. Of course, there's lots of like things that really don't make sense. That's why I was saying you have to like at one point just stop to say, I'll believe it. Here's
Mm.
where my knowledge ends, and then the rest just use faith.
Mm,
And then for the atheists, even well, like most people assume that atheists, you will just lean towards what this say. And for the scientists as well, it's like it also does at one point stop, and you just have to believe what you have been told. You just have to believe what you read. So again, people having the back and forth, and for me, I'm like, yeah, I most definitely don't believe the creation story. I think the scientist version is more it's like it's more feasible.
mm,
But I don't know if I would find myself in a situation where I was arguing against the creationist's perspective with the scientific perspective. It's like if one person is interested in doing that, like you guys go ahead, have at it. Like you spend so much time like, no, we were done. It's like 6,000 years old. No, it's like something billion years old.
yeah.
And it's like I don't know, maybe if like it was established, like what's the significance of this discussion right now? Why is
But
6,000
I'll tell you
0.4
something in
billion?
terms of, I'll tell you something like for you to say it's more feasible for the scientific explanation really
Mhm.
shows me that maybe the research is not complete. Because just as um, it is unacceptable for a being to just say, "Hey, light, boom, uh, sunshine, boom." It's the same thing with a universe deciding to properly propagate itself with all the magnetic forces all together. Like there are calculations that can
Yeah.
actually prove that for the Big Bang to actually exist, it takes and in what are those fancy words that they use? Trillionth of a possibility for it to actually,
Quantitative
because there
analysis.
would if yeah, because if it could have been calculated more accurately, there would even be a
Mhm.
timeline. You know what I mean? So everything is just we assume, but because we're used to explosions, that makes more sense than a God saying the sun exists. You know what I mean? Eh?
What
Yeah.
if it's
There
two
was
So
sides of
actually
the same
one
coin?
I came across recently
yeah,
where someone says that the Big Bang in the very beginning, for it to have happened, it would he used some scientific terms to describe, and then in the end of the sentence is like perhaps that's what the religious people call God.
Yeah,
And I
what if
was
it's
like,
two
huh,
sides of the same
mm,
coin? Yeah. What if God
that's
saying "Let there
interesting.
be light" was the Big Bang? But yeah, that's a topic for another day.
another day.
People have actually
That's
been
why I'm
banished.
not
Yeah, they've been exiled
I'm
from
not
the
even
church
going.
for
Oh,
for
sorry.
actually bringing up that
Those type
theory.
of
Yeah,
statements.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Let there be light was the Big Bang.
Yeah.
I was actually agreeing with you. Like we cannot go into this. Like if we did, at least for me, it's where I'm just curious about your position because atheists truly just say I'm atheist. They don't need to even say I'm atheist. I don't do politics. They're just atheists and they're confident in it. Like they know for a fact. You know what I mean? That's why it would be interesting to have like a full blown conversation with you, just like to get your perspective, like how you came to that conclusion of being an atheist, and what really drives you away from the possibility, like just the idea of faith. God was one topic, but then faith itself drives a lot of things. Like the first car that went 60 miles an hour, people were like, Asat, no human being can survive that speed. You'll turn into potatoes. And then the first guy just went like, Asat, I'll do it. It took faith,
Yeah, you don't have to go
as
you don't have to go as far as like the car even. Just Binda himself and him playing music as well. Like him having faith in his abilities, like knowing that, oh, okay, I know that when I strike this string, like I'm hoping. Maybe let me not say faith, but you could say I'm hoping that when I strike this chord, it produces a sound resonance that I'm expecting it to like produce. So just little nuanced approaches like that, I think. Really tell a grand story. Sorry, Muka, I cut you short. You can carry on. I was just adding on to what you're saying.
That's like the same line of thought.
Yeah,
it would be just interesting, like to have a full blown conversation eventually.
Yeah, and we totally should when you get back, man. Like
because
like in person.
Debates with atheists, I get bored. Like I don't want to prove
I think
you wrong
for me, debates with religious people have also become
nonchalant,
passive.
It's become, I don't know. It's like it's become predictable, and it's been so long and so frequent that up to this day, whenever I'm presented with like this kind of like conversation, I have a friend of mine I have a couple of friends who are here, and they have no idea that I'm not religious along with them, because the conversations do come up and I just roll my eyes and I'm like, all right, I'll be outside. Because I'm like, I haven't yet come across like a Christian, or like the thing about being here in China is like it's not only Christians you come across. It's different from back home. When someone approaches you with like a religious perspective, you can like assume they'll be Christian. But for here, when someone says God, you don't know if they mean Jehovah, Allah, or some Hindu God. So I usually enjoy when my Christian friends and another religious friend, they were like, God bless you. And then I'm like, which God are you guys talking about? Because they're like, they say the same word, but if they get into like the grit of things, they will be like, no, I actually meant this one. And then they will start having their back and forth. So like, for me, it's been done so many times that it just feels like this discussion, and it's like
it's tiring. Like the problem with those discussions, they come with the fact like, I have to prove you wrong. I have to make you agree with me. Like it's boring, to be honest. Like even for the Christian, like you're going to get someone to convert to Christianity by strong arming them in conversations. It's not helpful. Like for us, it's just the testimony of Christ, our personal testimonies. That should be enough. But then they go like, bruh, you're being foolish, believing what you believe. And I'm like,
I feel like it has to make sense to you. Like, as we always say,
so
it has to start with you. It makes sense to you.
Yeah. So like for me personally, like I get curious about people like you. Like that, since you haven't asked those questions, I'd like to see like your position on those questions. Like the same distraction question, it's a theological question. It's nothing to do with religion. It's just about existence, like the point of being human. You're going to die. Is it worth it today to just run off a building, or finally spend all the rest of your money to say, I might die tomorrow? So let me, those type of questions. It's
Yes.
curious to see how people with a different points in existence can react to certain questions, and the way we expose ourselves in conversations matters, because I learn a lot from people. I learn too much, in fact. That's why even my Christian position, you'd be surprised, like what I think about it.
It's in conjunction. It's like secretly we have a big bang in your creation story.
Yeah.
Yo, guys, I still need to drive home. So, dude, how? Yeah, I'm currently at Chisomo, man.
I texted you telling you I have to roll out as well.
Yeah. So, dude, I know there's so much more that we could like talk about, and we're definitely going to do that on the next one, man. Like
Definitely.
we're definitely gonna have you back, man. But for now, any projects you're working on that we should look forward to, and any words for the peeps out there?
Yes, currently just polishing up on my demo EP. Let me call it a demo EP because I did it myself. So I should be releasing it for the public soon.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Are you at liberty to disclose the EP title?
Yes. Why not? I mean,
yes.
Riot Inc.
Yeah.
No, never.
The revival. Yeah.
Do you want to name it?
Who, me? No, I'm gonna name the project that I'm gonna play a part in naming the project that we're gonna work on together.
Oh, all right.
Be it a song or like an entire project or whatever. We'll talk, man.
All right, we'll do it.
Yeah.
It's like the name of the EP is Dreams.
Oh, okay, nice.
Simple.
Sounds simple and cryptic.
Yeah, at the same time, like I probably knowing you, it's probably from a really deep and introspective place. But
no, man, I love that EP, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So I'm waiting for like consistent love, and then I'll be like, all right, now you tell me how you feel about it.
Sick. Yeah. So no downset date just yet.
None. This is like August.
Yeah. But definitely
maybe
this year.
Maybe
this year though.
It's done though. It's.
So I'm giving you next month.
All right. All right. Just need a deadline, some pressure.
Yeah. I think we as artists need that as well. Sometimes that extra push. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Next month, it's gonna be my birthday present.
Oh.
Me too, man. September 24th.
Oh, all right. I can move my birthday then, so I can have a huge
joint birthday.
Yeah.
That would be dope.
That'd be awesome, man. Dude, any last words not last words, because it's not like I'm putting you to sleep or anything, but any words for the peeps out there?
Definitely. Join me. I would love anyone who's watching, like, join me on this musical journey. I have a Facebook page, YouTube channel, and SoundCloud, all under the name Kafutubele.
Awesome.
Kafutubele. I had to look at it because
I noticed that. I was like, are you looking at the screen on like how to spell your name?
I just say it or write it. I read.
You really like spell it out, yeah. Awesome, man. Dude, thanks a lot for doing this, man.
Thank you guys for having me.
Awesome, man.
It was awesome.
It's been awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
dude. This has been the Ethos podcast with Dano Tumelo.
Muka.
And Kafutubele.
Awesome. West Side!